Welcome to Senior Strategies, Tools for the Caregiver with Amy Decker and Shane Silver. Join us on each show where you're going to enjoy a lively conversation that's going to connect you to the tools and resources that you'll need to coordinate care for the seniors in your life. We are so happy that you joined us. Hi, welcome back to Senior Strategies. We're so happy that you joined us again. We've got some great guests that are going to be coming on shortly. I have to say that my sidekick is out sick, so I will be missing my Shane today, my little partner in crime, and we wish her all the best. My name is Amy Decker. I am with Senior Helpers of South Palm Beach County. And the name of our show is Senior Strategies. So we're here to give you strategies if you are a caregiver and you're just looking for ways to stay on that journey in a positive attitude. Last week we had Jennifer Almagnana, and she is a licensed clinical social worker. She focuses on caregiver burnout, which really is a very serious thing. I don't think people realize that they have that until they actually have it and they end up sick. So they just get burned out. And so she really focuses on getting groups together to keep them empowered and keep them on the journey of caring for their loved one. We also had a couple, Ira Kaplan and his daughter Fran, and they care for Ronnie, which is Ira's wife, also Fran's mother. And they talked about the challenges of being a caregiver and making a really difficult decision of whether or not to put their loved one in a memory care unit. They felt it was the wrong thing to do. They wanted her to stay at home. They figured she would flourish so much more at home. But then they started looking and they found a wonderful memory care unit in Allegro on Boynton Beach on Hagen Ranch Road, and put Ronnie in there, and she's flourishing. While she was at home, she didn't do much. She watched a lot of TV, kind of just sat around. Now that she's in a memory care unit, she's doing activities. They give her things to do. She's got friends. She's just flourishing. She's so happy. So that was a great show that we had last week. And then we do find the biggest challenges that caregivers have are dealing with their loved ones with memory impairment. And I'm sure all of you just recently heard that Tony Bennett passed away, who had Alzheimer's as well, which I did not know that. But he had such a positive attitude about it, and he really documented what he was going through. And in fact, he had a phrase that he said, "Life is a gift even with Alzheimer's." So with Tony, as he got towards the end of his life, he couldn't carry on a conversation or finish a sentence, but he could do an hour-and-a-half concert flawless, no teleprompter. He could sing every single song, but the minute he would go to speak to somebody else, he couldn't do that. So it just shows what music can do. Music therapy is a beautiful thing, and for him it was his lifeline. And so it made me think about how many other celebrities out there dealt with that I didn't know. And so I did a little Google search, and Glenn Campbell, which I did know because his wife actually did a documentary on him too. So if you haven't seen that, be sure to look at it because it was really good. So Glenn Campbell, Maria Shriver also cares for her father that has Alzheimer's. And she has a whole podcast and an Instagram page that I follow. She's got some great things that she can share. Ronald Reagan, Robin Williams, Burgess Meredith, Charlton Heston, Sean Connery, Aaron Spelling, Joanne Woodward, and then recently Bruce Willis, who has aphasia. And so his lovely wife, Emma Willis, also has podcasts and a channel on Instagram documenting how just the challenges of what it is day in and day out with him, and when she's having a good day or when she's having a bad day. So it's great to see celebrities use this platform to educate all of us. You know, at one time we may have looked at them as like, oh, they're a celebrity and I love to follow them, but really now they're taking that platform and saying, now I can educate you on really what's going on, because dementia is not biased. It's gonna hit anybody, any race, any color, any age, you know, whatever your yearly income is, it doesn't matter. And celebrities do a lot for people. You know, when you're little, growing up, maybe it's a sports person or it's a band that you liked or it's a movie star that you liked. And so dear friends of mine, Marcia and Bruce Burns, put together this lovely coffee table book, and it's called Nostalgic America. And what they did is blood, sweat, and tears. They went through page after page after page and put together some beautiful pictures of all sorts of celebrities or moments in time that were precious, or just a little bit of everything. Every month they have a online publication that you can go on to nostalgicamerica.com and see their publication. But you can also get this book. It's a coffee table book. And I do bring this with me when I do baby therapy and memory care, or even those in assisted living love looking at this. Anybody can enjoy this book, but we liked using it to just jog a memory in somebody's life if they're dealing with memory impairment, because this really seems to bring a good memory to them. So that's what our show is all about, is giving you tools and strategies, having great guests on so that we can talk about what they can do to help you with something that you might be dealing with. And if you missed last week's show with the social worker and the caregivers, you can find any of our shows on YouTube or our Facebook page, which is seniorstrategies.pb. Now this week, we've got some great guests. We have Elliot Sokoloff, and he is a personal injury attorney, amongst other things that he does do with his firm, but that is his main focus. And then we have Kelley Jackson, and she is, on top of being a nurse, and many other things as well. She has a study at FAU regarding seniors and driving. So she's putting together a whole study that she's going to talk to us about. And it's a great pairing because we can talk about how they can use each other and how they can work together. So we're hoping that you come back after this commercial break and we can share some more information with you. We've got a lot of fun in store. So come back and join us. We'll see you in a few minutes. Hi, I'm Amy Decker with Senior Helpers.
And I'm Shane Silver, a seniors real estate specialist with the Silver team at Keller Williams.
We are so excited about a new show that we're launching, Senior Strategies, Tools for the Caregiver.
We know that being a caregiver can be lonely and very overwhelming, and we want to help.
And so we hope to empower you with resources and tools that you probably didn't even know existed.
We'll be having some great conversations with people and companies you probably never knew existed and never knew you needed.
We just can't wait for you to join us.
Come join us for some laughs and fun as we give you some tools to use.
See you soon.
In support of all the work that Amy Decker and Shane Silver do for our senior community, Prepared Care Emergency Companions is honored to sponsor this segment of Senior Strategies, Tools for the Caregiver.
This segment of Senior Strategies is brought to you by Sokoloff and Weinstein, PA attorneys at law. Injured? Not your fault? Call Sokoloff and Weinstein, PA attorneys at law. They have provided personal injury representation and have practiced in Palm Beach County since 1993. They will address your individual needs and help you through whatever concerns you may have. Principal office located in Palm Beach County. Satellite office located in Indian River County. Call today at 561-790-6788. That's 561-790-6788.
NPTU is a mobile pain management provider caring for patients in their homes or skilled and assisted nursing facilities. NPTU can help with prescribing medications, joint and spine injections, under ultrasound guidance, with a specialty in neurostimulators. Neurostimulators can help reduce the need for narcotic pain medication and are covered by Medicare with a secondary insurance at 100%. NPTU and Tracy Leshinsky is the only provider of this device within a 250-mile radius. Services Palm Beach and North Broward counties. Contact NPTU today at 561-901-1182.
Welcome to Allegro Boynton Beach, the epitome of luxury senior living. Discover a lifestyle free from maintenance worries, or experience gentle support tailored to your daily needs. Choose from our exclusive offerings of independent living, assisted living, and memory care, each designed to provide a personalized experience of utmost comfort and care. Indulge in a maintenance-free retirement or embrace the support you deserve. Surrounded by the finest amenities and compassionate staff. At Allegro Boynton Beach, luxury meets a vibrant community where every moment is filled with joy, purpose, and peace of mind. Experience luxury senior living at its finest. Contact us today to schedule your visit and discover the unmatched lifestyle awaiting you at Allegro Boynton Beach.
Welcome back to Senior Strategies with Amy and Shane. Coming up next are more tools and resources you will need to make your journey of caregiving a little easier. For more information or to be a guest on the show, please contact us at 561-800-6654. And now, on with the show.
Hi, welcome back to Senior Strategies. We are so excited for you to meet our guests today. We are going to be talking to Elliot Sokoloff, and he is a dear friend of mine for many years. He was also a generous sponsor for our launch party that was in May, I believe. And also you can watch, because he also has a commercial. So in the break, you'll have to watch for his commercial. But Elliot has a lot to share with us. And so we're going to let you do your thing, Elliot. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell me who you are and what you do?
Okay.
And why you're so good at it.
I opened up my office with my partner back in 1993 in Royal Palm Beach, when every other lot was a vacant lot. And our philosophy was a little bit different. We wanted to grow with the community because we knew the community was growing in that area. So we opened up there. We've been practicing literally in the same building. After the first 3 years, we moved from a office suite to the center of the building, and we had then expanded to an office in Vero Beach, and that's been doing really nicely as well. And we've been helping people for this October will be our 30th anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know, I was trying to think. I've known you for probably 10 years, maybe 11 years.
Yeah.
When I worked with Scott Sokoloff at
That's
Sokoloff
right.
Legal. So
That's right.
With the Sokoloff and Sokoloff, we got a little confused every once
I
in a while.
know. Years back, Scott and I had a lunch because of that too. He was getting my calls, I was getting his calls. So it was kind of funny. Yeah.
But you have a lot to offer, and I think, regardless of what field we're talking about, whether it's powers of attorney or wills or whatever it is, I think focusing on personal injury and dealing with seniors and dealing with the family members of the seniors, there's probably lots of challenges that you see.
Oh yeah, I could tell you some stories. Right
ahead.
now, the most recent one is my partner has a case for someone who's in her early mid 80s. She seems like she's 60.
Oh.
She's really with it. But the insurance company knows of her age, and they're delaying and protracting and dragging their feet, hoping for what? Unfortunately, the end. And hoping that if that happens, the case's value will go down.
Wow.
So it's pretty unscrupulous the way that they'll deal with it. I've heard of other personal injury attorneys just won't take a case for anyone who's over 80 years old.
Really?
Because it's too much of a risk if they're doing it on a contingency fee basis, and they're going to invest time and money into it, and there is a likelihood that the person won't be around to prosecute the claim, then they're going to lose money and time. So they make a business decision, whether it's spoken or not to take those cases on. And
That's
it's awful.
really sad.
It's really sad. And then there's a scenario, 2 weeks ago, I had referred a case out. It was a terrible medical malpractice case. And it left this woman's husband pretty much non compos mente. And what happened was she called and she said that the firm had to drop it because she never had a durable power of attorney done. And in order for her to represent her husband, she needs now to go to court to do an adult guardianship or conservatorship to get appointed by the court to hire the attorney and do all that. And I have a colleague of mine in Boynton who does a lot of that, and he was giving me estimates of $20,000 to $25,000 to do some of these. So
And who
it
has
becomes
that? No one.
Exactly. So she said the same thing. She's like, I don't have those kind of funds, but she didn't know better, or they didn't know better, to get a power of attorney while he was able to, which probably could have overcome that issue.
So your biggest scenario to that story is?
Prepare. Like anything else. It's with my personal injury attorney, when I'm advising people on personal injury, I'm like, I can't set the clock back. I can't warn you about the accident or tell you about the insurance you should have bought. So many people in the state of Florida, we're the only state in the nation that I'm aware of that doesn't require liability coverage for someone on the road. unless you're a commercial vehicle.
Which is
But-
why our insurance is probably so high.
Yeah, but every state has some sort of liability. I'll give you an example. New York, from the last time I knew, I think it was $25,000, $50,000 limits you have to buy in liability coverage. In Florida, you only have to buy PIP, which is no fault for your own health and mileage up to the first $10,000, and property damage up to $10,000. Very, very minimal. But as a result of that, 1 out of 3 from the people I know in the insurance industry to 1 out of 2, depending on the year, that are hit by someone who's not driving a commercial vehicle don't have liability coverage. So it's so important for people to buy uninsured motorist coverage. But if you've shopped your insurance before, you know that's going to be one of the most expensive things on the list. And some people drop it. But when it comes time to get it, like I met with a kid earlier this week, and there's a 99% chance there's going to be no deep pocket to go after. They don't have uninsured motorists, and the person who was insured was insured with a company that's notorious for not writing bodily injury coverage. So it's so important to prepare.
It is. And what would you say is the biggest challenge when you're dealing with personal injury cases, dealing with seniors? Do you find it's more of a driving situation? Do you find that it's issues where maybe they're falling in a public place, where they're maybe fell in a restaurant, or is it more
I'd say it's the
traffic
fall. No,
accident?
I think it's both. Unfortunately, in the
What's
traffic,
your ratio?
in the traffic situations, it's usually the opposite. It's usually the senior that somehow caused the accident, wasn't aware of how it happened, which I think will go to the second guest who's going to be on the show. But I've had situations where someone has left a facility. The facility didn't secure the facility. Went into a vehicle, drove the vehicle, got into an accident, got out and said, "Where am I?" And that's when you have to hold the facility responsible for letting that person out.
But what
because
if they
shouldn't have.
didn't? What if they escaped?
If they escaped, then the question, how did they escape?
Yeah,
you
you're
know,
right.
again, it goes back to
Right,
the facility.
right.
But it happens. I do see a lot of slip and falls, though, and it's always what's happening. And sometimes the slip and fall could be, well, I slipped. What did you slip on? I don't know. And if they don't know, the burden of proof is on you to prove it. And it becomes so much harder to prove a case that way.
With memory impairment.
Especially with memory impairment. And then it gets to a point, can I represent someone with memory impairment? Because if they don't have the capacity to sign my retainer, I can't do that.
Right. That's kind of what I was going to ask you next. So say somebody does do that, they leave a community, they have dementia, they get in a car accident, but they have dementia. So the way that the police handle that person, the way that an attorney handles that person, or they have dementia, it's like a whole different category.
Exactly.
So unless
it
they
is.
had family members then that could sign for them, but again, they have dementia, so it's a whole different
And
thing.
it's not even for them so much too. Like, I can also get approached by the person that they hit,
right.
the other person.
Right.
And then you say, well, how are you going to go against someone who has dementia? They don't have capacity, you know? So you're always looking for the deep pocket, the person who may have been responsible for the caregiving too. And unfortunately, that's where you always kind of focus on. It's the financial end. Where are we going to make a recovery from?
So it could be the spouse. It
Could be the spouse.
The community that they live in.
Yes.
And I think we had talked about this previously too. The person that's considered, so say they do their paperwork, they have a power of attorney, they have a healthcare surrogate. Could that fall on them?
It arguably could. Many times with powers of attorney, depending on who you're doing it for. We were just having a conversation before. Many people don't want their agent, which is the term that we've been using since October 1st, 2011, when we adopted the Florida Uniform Power of Attorney Act. And it changed many, many years and many, many changes until that became the major change in the law. And they are effective now the day you sign it. Not when you become incapacitated, the day you sign it. So some people are a little squeamish about giving someone absolute power to go into their accounts immediately. So they have me write a letter saying, look, you can't release this power of attorney to my agent, to the person you're giving the power to, unless I tell you to, unless they can show that I am legitimately missing and went on a cruise, the ship disappeared.
Wow.
I'm in a padded cell somewhere, or they have a court order. So if someone just walked in my office and said, hey, listen, I understand that so-and-so prepared a power of attorney. I'm the agent. Can I get a copy? I'll have to go through that list. And if they don't meet one of those criteria, I just can't give it to them.
Right. And there's different powers of attorney. So I know there's a durable power of attorney.
Right.
And then there's
just a simple power of attorney,
and
unlimited.
Is there a revocable?
No,
That's
that's a different thing. You're thinking about trust.
Okay, so what's the difference between just a power of attorney and a durable power of attorney?
Well, typically a power of attorney is good so long as you have capacity. So, for
see.
example, like you're okay, and I say, hey, listen, Amy, I want you to, sell my home while I'm traveling, and I give you that, but then I'm hurt in an accident while I'm traveling, and I'm no longer conscious. That power may or may not apply anymore because now I no longer have capacity.
Yeah.
But a durable power, durable means lasting through incapacity. So it is a powerful tool because if you eventually do become incapacitated, have memory issues, whatever the problem is, the idea is to try to avoid that adult guardianship or conservatorship, which is so expensive and time consuming and invasive in these people's lives, to try to continue doing business as usual. And that's up to the agent, the person you appoint, to essentially become a caregiver in a way and make those difficult decisions, financial, health, or otherwise, for that individual.
And I think a lot of people don't realize too that when you are power of attorney and that person passes, power of attorney passes.
Oh, absolutely.
You stop. And I think people don't realize that.
They
think,
don't.
oh, okay, great. So now I can, nope.
Nope,
It
I
dies
can't.
with the person.
Every year I get a handful
I
of calls and they say,
My mom
I'm at the
died."
bank. No, they don't even
Yeah.
start with that. I'm at the bank, I'm trying to use a power of attorney, and they just won't let me. I'm like, why don't you get your mom on the phone? My mom died 2 years ago. Then the power of attorney died with her.
Nope,
they don't realize
so many
it.
don't realize
Yes,
that.
Yes.
So that is a big deal. That's
Yeah.
a big deal.
Yeah.
But I love it because you have so many different aspects of what you do with your law, featuring more personal injury. But that's kind of what I wondered is, do you see, like, what is the biggest thing that you see with seniors? But like you had mentioned, probably.
Never, even something that I had someone call me and said that my husband may become diagnosed with cancer. We're not sure yet. We want to come in. We want to do some work with you. I said, okay, I'll meet with you. And he was so frail. He couldn't get out of the conference room chair. And I said, look, I'll meet with you out here. Let's move it all out here for you. We started talking. It became pretty obvious that he was in La La Land.
Yeah.
And I looked at her, I looked at him, I said, tell me, sir, what day of the week is it? And she started trying, well, I said, look, I'm asking your husband, not you, what day of the week it is. He says, I think it's Saturday afternoon on a Monday. What day of the month is it? Oh, it's the 12th. No, it's the 20th. And what
Who's the
month is it?
president?
You know, and then I just stopped the meeting and I looked at him, I looked at I said, look, in good conscience, I can't do the work for him because I don't feel that he may have capacity to do it, and I just don't want to get pulled into it. And what he needs at that point, unfortunately, is they waited too long. They need that adult guardianship. They need that conservatorship. They need the court to get involved and to officially appoint someone to help this afflicted person out.
And I think that they are in such fear, if I put a power of attorney in place, then I've accepted the fact that I'm not going to be able to make decisions for myself. And I think working with Scott Sokoloff, it was the same thing. The majority of our phone calls came from people that were now in a dire situation and panicked.
Yes.
I even now, as a notary, I will get calls from people as a notary saying, my uncle, he's in an assisted living. He wants to make us power of attorney, but he's got some memory impairment, and we just need a notary to come down so that it says that it's okay if he.
It's a red flag.
A huge red flag. Come on, real quick. Come to the hospital bed real fast.
I know.
While he still is awake and lucid.
Yeah,
and as a notary stamp to say it's okay if
I don't get involved in things like that. And
No
I know
way.
Scott is an expert in that field.
He is.
And he does a lot more and a lot more complex situations. But it gets very hairy at that point in your life. And unfortunately, too many people wait to the last minute like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it is. That pre-planning part of it, I think, is really difficult because, like I said, they wait until there's an emergency, and that's the sad part of it. But it's going to be interesting because we have Kelley Jackson coming up next, and she does the study dealing with seniors and driving. So she sees a whole nother part of it that we're going to be able to talk to Kelley, and then after that, we're going to talk all of us together. So come back soon. We'll be here waiting. Hi, I'm Amy Decker with Senior Helpers.
And I'm Shane Silver, a seniors real estate specialist with the Silver team at Keller Williams.
We are so excited about a new show that we're launching, Senior Strategies, Tools for the Caregiver.
We know that being a caregiver can be lonely and very overwhelming, and we want to help.
And so we hope to empower you with resources and tools that you probably didn't even know existed.
We'll be having some great conversations with people and companies you probably never knew existed and never knew you needed.
We just can't wait for you to join us.
Come join us for some laughs and fun as we give you some tools to use.
See you soon.
In support of all the work that Amy Decker and Shane Silver do for our senior community, Prepare to Care Emergency Companions is honored to sponsor this segment of Senior Strategies, Tools for the Caregiver.
This segment of Senior Strategies is brought to you by Sokoloff and Weinstein, PA attorneys at law. Injured? Not your fault? Call Sokoloff and Weinstein, PA attorneys at law. They have provided personal injury representation and have practiced in Palm Beach County since 1993. They will address your individual needs and help you through whatever concerns you may have. Principal office located in Palm Beach County. Satellite office located in Indian River County. Call today at 561-790-6788. That's 561-790-6788.
FNP-BC is a mobile pain management provider caring for patients in their homes or skilled and assisted nursing facilities. FNP-BC can help with prescribing medications, joint and spine injections, under ultrasound guidance, with a specialty in neurostimulators. Neurostimulators can help reduce the need for narcotic pain medication and are covered by Medicare with a secondary insurance at 100%. FNP-BC and Tracy Leshinsky is the only provider of this device within a 250-mile radius. Services Palm Beach and North Broward counties. Contact FNP-BC today at 561-901-1182.
Welcome to Allegro Boynton Beach, the epitome of luxury senior living. Discover a lifestyle free from maintenance worries, or experience gentle support tailored to your daily needs. Choose from our exclusive offerings of independent living, assisted living, and memory care, each designed to provide a personalized experience of utmost comfort and care. Indulge in a maintenance-free retirement or embrace the support you deserve. Surrounded by the finest amenities and compassionate staff. At Allegro Boynton Beach, luxury meets a vibrant community where every moment is filled with joy, purpose, and peace of mind. Experience luxury senior living at its finest. Contact us today to schedule your visit and discover the unmatched lifestyle awaiting you at Allegro Boynton Beach.
Welcome back to Senior Strategies with Amy and Shane. Coming up next are more tools and resources you will need to make your journey of caregiving a little easier. For more information or to be a guest on the show, please contact us at 561-800-6654. And now, on with the show.
Hi, welcome back again to Senior Strategies. We just had a nice little conversation with Elliot Sokoloff talking about seniors and different challenges that he finds with seniors and what we need to do to prepare ourselves. And now we have Kelley Jackson. She is a nurse as well as many other things, and she has a study at FAU regarding seniors and driving. And I actually met her at our Senior Healthcare Coordinators Networking Group. It's a great group of professionals. We meet the second Tuesday of every month, and in fact, August 8th, I believe, we're going to be meeting at the brand new Harbor Chase in Boynton Beach on Military. So you're going to meet really wonderful people like Kelley here, and she's going to tell us more about who she is and what she does and all about your study at FAU.
Well, thank you, Amy. I am Dr. Kelley Jackson. I'm a doctor nurse, if you will. I have been a nurse for 30 years, like Elliot, previous to me joining Amy. He's been in his practice for 30 years, so 30 is the number, I guess, today. And yes, so thank you for having me on the show, because what I have to share with you all is a research project that we're currently recruiting participants for. So if you're 65 and older and you have a valid driver's license and you own or lease your own car, we would love to have you participate in this combination memory and driving project.
It's wonderful.
So yes, we have. It's a grant that's been given to FAU, so Florida Atlantic University, a $5 million grant, which is funded by the National Institutes on Aging, which is a division of the National Institutes of Health. And this project has been going on for several years. We did have a little slowdown with COVID, with recruiting and finding volunteers, because COVID being what COVID was. So now we're back out, and we're really looking for some more participants to join us in this project.
And how do you find your participants?
So by word of mouth, by coming on shows like this, I'm available to come out into your communities and speak about the importance of maintaining our brain health as we get older, in exchange for the opportunity to recruit potential volunteers or participants. Maybe some of you out there in the audience might be interested in coming in and joining us. So really by word of mouth, and our volunteers, our participants are the best cheerleaders for the project. I wish I had them in my pocket every day.
Do you have a contact number where they can call you, or an email address where they can reach out to you if they wanted to be part of this program?
We do. So I would suggest, if you have any questions, you're interested in joining the project, you can call me directly, and I can be reached at 954-691-3977.
One more time.
954-691-3977. And I'd be happy to talk to you in more detail about what the project entails and what the commitments are. So maybe I should share a little bit about that.
That's it.
now.
I was just going to say, tell us more about it.
So the project involves a 3-year commitment. So what we're looking for is for our participants to come and meet with us. When I say us, I mean our research team. So we have nursing research assistants, and then we also have research assistants that are involved with neuropsychology. So we meet with our participants once every 3 months for 3 years. That is the duration of the study. At those visits, which take about 2 hours, give or take, we go through different types of memory quizzes and memory testing that we do. And we repeat those tests every 3 months for 3 years. That's the memory component. The other component is the driving component. So what that entails is installing sensors and cameras into the vehicles of our participants at the very first visit, which really is the premise of this project. And what we're trying to find, is a connection between changes. If somebody were to develop changes in their cognition early, does that also show up in their driving habits? So these in-vehicle sensors that were developed by our College of Engineers are actually installed in the cars, and the participants just drive around. And we collect that data from these sensors every 3 months when they come in to meet with us. So that it's hands-off, they don't have to do anything with it. We just collect the data, and then we have that for us to analyze at a later time.
Wow. So that goes on for 3 years, and then you take that data, and then, so every 3 months then do you do a progress report, and then you go over with them? So you say they come in every 3 months. Do they get a progress report and say, you're either doing great or, man, you're not doing so good?
It's really, we're really gathering the data.
Okay.
So what we're trying to do is just get that information over time, and to see if there's any type of connection with the driving habits.
What if you see something that comes back, say after 3 months, that it's a pretty severe change, and you really see that there could be some cognitive issues and a problem? What do you do?
So at that point, we would encourage the participant to maybe follow up with their healthcare provider, because we can't diagnose or obviously treat or do anything along those lines. And part of the criteria to participate in the study is we do some screening before we get started. So we're really looking for active seniors that are over 65 out there in the communities driving and doing their things.
So when they come to you, is it usually a family member that is maybe concerned, or say they live in assisted living community that they might be concerned and so they want them to be part of this test, or this is just across the board anybody over 65 that's...
So that's a great question. So we're really not out there evaluating driving, and that's not what this particular project focuses on. We're really looking to just track the driving habits of those adults that are over 65 out there driving in our communities. So we're not out there to say they drive well, they don't drive well.
Right.
They come to us with a valid driver's license and they're driving.
I know very often we have, I would say almost weekly, we have clients of ours with senior helpers that it's either a spouse or it's a community that they live in or it's a child that's very concerned about mom and dad that are driving. And so very often they want to be able to get the letter from the doctor to send it up to Tallahassee to get it back to tell them not to drive anymore. So it's really such a hard topic to have with a family member. So this is a great study just so that you can see. And what are some of the results that you see? What have you found through the study so far?
So it's ongoing and the recruitment is open. And it'll be open until we stop recruiting. And really what we're trying to find is if somebody were to have changes early, we want to find those changes early and use these sensors as kind of a predictor, if you will. So we're really, if you've ever known anyone with Alzheimer's or dementia, the symptoms start 10, 15 years, in the rear. So a device such as this sensor would be able to raise that red flag and say, hey, something's going on. Maybe we need to check something out. So for future treatments and medications that become available for early stages and that work towards prolonging the onset, let's say, of somebody that is going to develop dementia, let's say of the Alzheimer's type, which is the most common. This particular project is focusing on a modality to find these changes early. And since a lot of people drive, that is one of the activities that it takes a healthy brain to do. There's a lot of focus and concentration that driving
and it's
requires.
The hardest thing for them to give up. And I know we've talked about this before. You're born to, I can't wait till I'm 16 to get my driver's license.
Right.
I can't wait till I'm 18 and then I'm going to get a job. And then when I'm 21 and then I'm going to go to school and then I'm going to get married and I'm going to have a family. And then as you get older, those things start falling off. And now you need help in the house. And now you have to maybe get rid of your car. And it's like the last real independent thing that you have.
Sure.
So many spouses and children are just, they don't even want to have to breach that conversation because it's so difficult to tell mom or dad, you can't drive anymore. What do you find in your studies is the biggest thing that's a red flag that they do when they're driving if they have memory impairment? Are they not braking? Does it pick up those types of things?
So that's another great question. So what we're looking at with the driving data is speed, braking hard. There's also cameras that we install in the vehicle as well that help to watch the head turns, and we're tracking those types of behaviors as well.
Wow.
So again, this is state of the art, and we're really excited to see what this project shows because again, as a nurse and being a nurse for so long, I've treated patients that are sick and I've treated patients that are well, and it's all about prevention. So if you can find out early, if you're interested in finding out early if you are developing these types of changes, potentially this sensor, this unobtrusive sensor, which goes underneath the seats of the car so you don't see a thing.
So it's not like the neighborhood goes, oh, look, he's got those sensors
No,
all over his
not
car. He
at
must
all.
be under some kind of a... Good.
Yes, not at all.
Good.
Not at all. They're meant to be unobtrusive. And I've spoken to several participants that we have in the study, and they say after a week or so, the small cameras that are visible, if you will, they don't even notice them.
Good.
After a very short period of time, because the whole premise is to get this data that we believe will be so valuable to be able to provide something of this nature, marrying healthcare and technology together, so that if somebody were to want to know, think of it as a blood pressure cuff. It goes back to my cardiac nursing days. You have a blood pressure cuff, you check your blood pressure. Just because your blood pressure is high today That doesn't mean that we're having a heart attack today, but what that does do is raise the flag that something's going on and let me get this checked out. So it's all about prevention and awareness.
And when did this begin? When did you start this?
We started this back in before COVID.
Okay.
Before COVID. So
And then
it's been
COVID took a little stall.
Yeah, took a little stall. So
And
yeah,
then you're
we're-
going to just continue until...
We are going to continue, and you know, recruitment enrollment is open. So I'd really like to talk to anybody that's interested in joining the study, project as I like to call it, and
you're doing
them
this
involved.
through a grant. Is there a way that if somebody wanted to give money toward this, could they do that?
That's a great question. I'll have to circle back with you on that one. But that just reminded me
Because
that
there's got to be a way. If somebody says, "I think that's great," I would,
Right,
I
of
would love
course.
to give something toward that.
Of course, no, that's a great call out. And one of the things that I will mention when it comes to compensation is we do offer compensation to our participants. So when they come and meet with us once every 3 months for the next 3 years, we do give them a $25 gift card for their time. And we do have special parking spaces on campus for our participants, so they
Nice.
don't have to deal with the parking police when they come in and meet with us. So we do compensate them for their time, and at the very last visit, when they finish visit 12 or 13, whatever number that is, we do give them a $50 gift card. So over the course of the study and their participation, it is a total of $350 that they
Wow.
do get in gift cards. And again, that's over time at each visit. So when they leave, they walk out with the gift card,
Nice.
and then we see them in 3 months.
Nice. Now, do you find more males or females are participating? Or is it pretty even?
Right now, I would say we have more females than males, but it's pretty even, but more females than males.
And that's what I'm wondering. Is it that the spouse wants them to be part of this, or they're more concerned about themselves and want to be part of it?
You know, it's really interesting. When I'm out in the communities and I'm talking about this project, there's some people that just raise their hand, they want to get involved because they've had a loved one, or even some spouses, their own spouse has the diagnosis of dementia, and it really hits home. And they say, gosh, if we only knew about this earlier.
Yes.
Because really, you know, I like to speak to the 4 pillars of maintaining brain health. And what can you do? I mean, we all get older, our brain gets older, the brain, it slows down. You know, it doesn't work as well at 90, maybe as it did at 30.
And it affects your peripheral vision too. They say as you age, you know, your normal peripheral vision, you can put your hand straight out and see, but as you get older, normal aging, you're going to lose a lot of that, and that affects your driving.
And exactly, and as you get older, you know, with less brain cells overall, right? And disease and trauma, different circumstances that your body faces with, it's important to keep your brain active. You can keep your brain active through physical exercise and activity. There's a heart-brain connection. 25% of the blood that we pump through our heart is fed to the brain. It's that brain, that heart oxygen brain connection. It's extremely powerful. And nutrition, you know, having the right nutrients so the brain can feed on what's going to maximize their output is important too. Brain fitness, crossword puzzles,
So many different things.
following a recipe.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
follow a different recipe for
Right,
chocolate chip cookies.
right,
Do
right.
something different. Rewire your brain. And then lastly, the 4th pillar is social connection. And being connected with others is great for that, for your brain health as well.
And we're going to talk more about that after this next commercial break, all of us together. A little bit of Elliot, a little bit of you, a little bit of me, and we're all going to discuss it together for the last part of the show. Thanks for coming. See you in a few minutes. Hi, I'm Amy Decker with Senior Helpers.
And I'm Shane Silver, a seniors real estate specialist with the Silver team at Keller Williams.
We are so excited about a new show that we're launching, Senior Strategies, Tools for the Caregiver.
We know that being a caregiver can be lonely and very overwhelming, and we want to help.
And so we hope to empower you with resources and tools that you probably didn't even know existed.
We'll be having some great conversations with people and companies you probably never knew existed and never knew you needed.
We just can't wait for you to join us.
Come join us for some laughs and fun as we give you some tools to use.
See you soon.
In support of all the work that Amy Decker and Shane Silver do for our senior community, Prepare to Care Emergency Companions is honored to sponsor this segment of Senior Strategies Tools for the Caregiver.
This segment of Senior Strategies is brought to you by Sokoloff and Weinstein, PA attorneys at law. Injured? Not your fault? Call Sokoloff and Weinstein, PA attorneys at law. They have provided personal injury representation and have practiced in Palm Beach County since 1993. They will address your individual needs and help you through whatever concerns you may have. Principal office located in Palm Beach County. Satellite office located in Indian River County. Call today at 561-790-6788. That's 561-790-6788.
FNP-BC is a mobile pain management provider caring for patients in their homes or skilled and assisted nursing facilities. FNP-BC can help with prescribing medications, joint and spine injections, under ultrasound guidance, with a specialty in neurostimulators. Neurostimulators can help reduce the need for narcotic pain medication and are covered by Medicare with a secondary insurance at 100%. FNP-BC and Tracy Leshinsky is the only provider of this device within a 250-mile radius. Services Palm Beach and North Broward counties. Contact FNP-BC today at 561-901-1182.
Welcome to Allegro Boynton Beach, the epitome of luxury senior living. Discover a lifestyle free from maintenance worries, or experience gentle support tailored to your daily needs. Choose from our exclusive offerings of independent living, assisted living, and memory care, each designed to provide a personalized experience of utmost comfort and care. Indulge in a maintenance-free retirement or embrace the support you deserve. Surrounded by the finest amenities and compassionate staff. At Allegro Boynton Beach, luxury meets a vibrant community where every moment is filled with joy, purpose, and peace of mind. Experience luxury senior living at its finest. Contact us today to schedule your visit and discover the unmatched lifestyle awaiting you at Allegro Boynton Beach.
Welcome back to Senior Strategies with Amy and Shane. Coming up next are more tools and resources you will need to make your journey of caregiving a little easier. For more information or to be a guest on the show, please contact us at 561-800-6654. And now, on with the show.
Hi, welcome back again to Senior Strategies. We've had a great show talking with Elliot Sokoloff and talking about what he does as far as seniors and personal injury and what we need to know to prepare ourselves before an emergency comes. And then we've got a wonderful portion too, talking with Kelley and what she does with her study, Dr. Kelley. And so now what I'd like to talk about is how the two of you can mix what you're doing kind of together, as that's why we love to pair these types of groups together, because it's something that you both can do together.
Yeah, so I think what would be beneficial for the audience would be to share that if you are a participant in our study, you are protected by something that's called a certificate of confidentiality. And what that entails, and that's put out by the National Institutes of Health. And what that does is it protects you as a research participant from any information being disclosed or divulged to insurance companies. Because that's a question that I get a lot in the field where, I don't, tell me a little bit more about what can happen to my insurance. Again, we're not evaluating if you're a good driver or a bad driver. That's not the premise or the purpose of this project.
You're just getting the info.
We're just getting very good. Amy, you were paying attention. I see that. But I think it's important to call it out because there are, as Elliot will speak to, insurance companies do offer certain discount programs. I guess, Elliot,
Sure.
do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, I think Allstate offers a similar program called DriveWise. They used to have a gadget that goes on your OBD port, which is the port for your computer for the car. It's usually underneath the dashboard, and it transmits data via, from my understanding, cell data, cell towers get the data, how fast you're driving, how fast you're going around a corner, how soon you're braking, and all that goes into a program which they try to tell you is for discount purposes. So if you are driving, in the meantime, Big Brother is watching, essentially. And while some companies guarantee that your rates won't go up, but you may not get the discount, Kelley was telling me about a conversation she had with her company, which she may want to share.
Sure. Yes. So, because I get this question frequently in the field as I'm talking and sharing information about the study, I called my insurance company and I had asked about this particular discount program. And what this particular insurance company had shared with me was that, yeah, sure, you can sign up for this program. However, if we find that you're not a safe driver, your insurance rates could go up versus going down. So it's kind of like it's the chance that you take. So I decided to not move forward with that.
Why?
I have a perfect driving record, but I just decided that I didn't want to take the chance. And with this particular project, again, that's not what we're out to do. We're not out to evaluate how good or bad of a driver
And
you
chastise
are.
if you're bad. Right.
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 And there's no audio with the sensors or in the cameras that are in the car. We don't hear anything. So if you do have road rage or that's something that you struggle with, we don't hear a thing. There's no audio with these sensors, and the information is not live or in real time. Again, this is information that we collect every 3 months that we're reviewing after the fact. So it's not live. I think like the insurance companies are looking at that live data. I could be wrong.
So
but
they have audio with the insurance?
No.
Oh.
It's a gadget that actually is tied into the black box of the car, all the sensors. So they're watching all that data and they can make sense out of it, what's going on with the driving habits. But that's how that works. There's no audio, there's no video. It's information from the computer of the car. And it's just sensing the way you're driving and sending that data to the insurance company. But I think with the video, you're going to have participants putting on makeup and dressing accordingly. They're going to be doing something that's going to make them appear as presentable as possible, I think, which is kind of funny, but it has no bearing on your study at all, on the way that they're driving. So, but we were talking too that, if there was an accident, if there was some sort of problem, the question comes in, can any of that data be discoverable? Can either side
Good question.
get that information? I'm inclined to say yes. If there's something there that could actually help decide if someone's at fault or show a propensity of mental decline. But again, you're not reading into it. All you're doing is observation.
Correct.
So, but I still think that there might be what we call probative value to that data, and a judge may order some of that information to go, or at least a limited amount, to either side in a court action. Luckily for you, it's not happened yet. So it's a non-issue. It's just completely theoretical.
So technology really has so much to do with what we do in the world today. And in fact, on our show next time, we're going to be having Tiffany DePani. She's going to be talking about the challenges with IT and seniors, which even using a remote, a cell phone, any of those things can become a challenge. And then we're also going to have David Michaels with Personal Living Alert on, also showing how his technology can help in the safety and health and happiness of the seniors that are living in their homes. So that's going to be our show August 8th, and that's live at 5 on August 8th. We also have our support groups that we talk about all the time. So Allegro Senior Living on Hagen Ranch Road, we have August 17th, that's at 3 o'clock, and that's at Allegro. And now we have one that's going to be starting at the brand new Harbor Chase on Military Trail in Boynton Beach. That one's August 31st. At 3 p.m. So we would love for you to come and join us. You are welcome to call Senior Strategies at 561-800-6654 for any questions, concerns, or ideas of what you'd like to see more on the show, or you're welcome to send an email to seniorstrategies.pb@gmail.com. We also have a Facebook and we have a Instagram that you can follow and watch any of the shows. So if you've missed any, you can always go back and watch, or you can watch this show over and over and over again.
Good to know.
And see everybody here that's on here. So we thank you for coming. Thank you for being our guests. You shared a lot of great
My
information.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting
Thank
us.
you.
And we'll see you again soon. Thank you for joining us today on Senior Strategies. We hope that you found the tools and the strategies that we offered you beneficial for your journey as a caregiver. We want you to leave today feeling empowered and supported.
Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube for upcoming shows and events. For more information, to schedule a consultation, or to join a support group, please contact us at 561-800-6654.
And remember the strategies
And tools you can use
to make your journey easier.